Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Lewis Speaks 2020, and today I want to talk about fathers who abandon their sons. I was thinking a lot about this as I am a son who was abandoned by my father. You know, at the age of 3, my father left the household, and not having him there really impacted my life in ways that I just can't even fully describe. Um, I noticed that there are a lot of fathers who abandon their sons. And what ends up happening when you leave your son, and this is for all the fathers out there, when you leave your son, you leave him with a lost sense of his own male identity. You leave your son feeling lost, and this causes him to go out there and try to find you in other men. He tries to find you in other situations. He rifles through a sea of other broken men, other broken, damaged men searching for you. Men who are not you, but rather men who are verbally abusive, physically abusive. And these men and these boys, they go out there looking for these men, and they end up getting hurt. They end up getting hurt. They end up getting disappointed. They end up getting beat up, you know? Especially with gay men. You know, I think that gay men especially need their fathers. They need their fathers in order to teach them how to be a man and how to have a healthy male identity. That is crucial. And so many gay men that I know are going through relationships that are abusive. These boys are being beat up. They're being abused. They're being infected with HIV. You know? All because they're out here looking for daddy's love. All because they're out here looking for the fathers that they never had. They're subjecting themselves to all kinds of abuse, financial exploitation. The boys out here on crystal meth, Tina, just destroying their lives, throwing themselves away because they were taught when they were younger that they were worthless, that they were no good, that they were not deserving of another man's love. They were not deserving of another man's attention. They were not deserving of their fathers to stay with them, you know? And this leaves a deep, deep psychological scar. So deep, it's almost invisible. You know? And how do you heal a wound that you can't see? How do you heal that? But yet and still, these boys are charged with the responsibility to heal them, to heal themselves, raise themselves, you know, become the men that they never knew. You know, I feel for these boys because at one point I was these boys. I still am. I still am. I'm still trying to do that work to heal that deep father wound. You know, not having my father in my life, the things and experiences that I went through as a result of not having that positive male figure in my life is just, it breaks my heart. It breaks my heart to really think about that. And many days I am just enraged with my father. I'm enraged. Why didn't he stay? Why didn't he love me enough? Why didn't he let go of the drugs and try? Why didn't he just, you know, make an effort? Why couldn't he to this day apologize? Why? And of course I got my answer. You know, my father, he had childhood wounds of his own that were left unhealed. And it was like a child raising a child. He was not prepared to be a father, you know? And while my intellectual self understands this, the inner child in me, the emotional self, tantrums, rages out, angry. And then I see within the gay community so many boys like me who are just lost, going from relationship to relationship to relationship, trying to find their father. They're out here like, Daddy, Daddy, rummaging through relationships, rummaging, just trying to find that male approval, that love, and coming up with nothing but a diagnosis. Coming up with nothing but a bunch of wounds, black eyes, and bruises, scars and cuts, all because they were looking for another man's love. A part of me has turned to God for that love, and a part of me is grateful that I do know and have a relationship with God. At the same time, sometimes you just want that tenderness, that hug, that touch, you know? And it doesn't have to be sexual. Sometimes you just want that nod of approval, you know, that masculine hug, just to let you know that you're seen and you're heard. So many of the boys out here feel invisible. They feel like they're not seen. They feel like they're not heard. They feel powerless because they were not taught how to be leaders. They were not taught how to have agency in this world. That is a man's job, to teach his son how to be a healthy man, how to be productive. You know, I know me growing up, I always wanted to see how being a man worked for me. I never really saw that. Growing up, being a man was a cautionary tale. Being a man meant I was a threat to women. Being a man meant I could be this dangerous person that's hurtful. As all the men, my uncles, my father, all the men that I knew, all of them were broken, were abusive. I never really had any positive male role model. I had one spiritual leader try to take me under his wing when I was younger, but a part of me was so mistrustful by that point, I was just done. I was like, you're just going to be another disappointment. I reasoned in my head, hey, he's not my father, so at any given moment, he could walk out of my life. So I just didn't take it seriously. And I think now, even, if I'm honest with myself, I don't trust men. I don't trust men. I don't trust that they'll last. I know that they'll come to the table, but will they stay? And you know, so many of us gay men and boys out here where we're struggling. We're struggling trying to find ourselves and our true identity. And we're sitting up here making gay our identity when that's not no identity. That's a false identity if you want to know the truth. Being defined by your sexuality and your sexual proclivities, that's a false identity. But when you don't have any masculine identity, you settle for substitutes. So, to all the fathers out there, I say this to you. Even if you don't get along with the mother, even if you have your own personal demons that you are fighting, don't let go of your sons. Because if you let go of your sons, you already murdered them. This is Lewis Speaks, wishing everybody a wonderful day.